Hey, what's going on, Soul Family, Soul Tribe? Now, I've been thinking about whether I want to tell y'all this story, but the ancient ones put it on my hat rack yesterday. Share this story with you, because it's applicable for a lot of y'all situations, those who going through what they went through. So, mind you, I had went through a rough patch in my life from getting out of prison and following a routine and a lifestyle that I thought was my cup of tea. Following that cup of tea ultimately led to me being revocated. Now mind you, I was on the run for 6 months under allegation of a battery, saying that, I kicked the door in and beat somebody with a baseball bat, who wouldn't let my hoe out the house. So I was on the run. I wasn't trying to go back to prison. I didn't want to go through all that. But that's what happened when you engaging in a lifestyle that ultimately can cost you your freedom. So I'm moving, I'm maneuvering, I'm manipulating. I was not trying to get caught up. My father was like, yo, the text told me, turn yourself in. Like, nah, I ain't going. But I ended up getting popped off and was revocated. I had 10 years stay sentence over my head, y'all, from the 20 years that I had for my first count. And I wasn't trying to do no 10 years added on. But what they ended up doing is they revocated me for 4 years and sent me back. So being that I was revocated, I had already had a vision telling me that I was gonna get popped off. The vision told me that I had got into a fight. The vision told me that I was in the county jail, got into another fight. And then, last but not least, I had a vision that showed me that I was in a yellow house. It was pristine, it was beautiful. It pretty much was telling me, after the hardships of what I received, that it was going to be some peace and tranquility, on how I interpret it. Now mind you, I'm brewing because I got a baby boy, and at the time I think he was maybe 2 months. Yeah, maybe 2-3 months, something like that. And I was married at the time, but my marriage was like this here. It was the reason why I was not trying to go back to do no revocation time. I wasn't trying to do none of that. I want to relish my freedom. But ultimately, anytime you straddling the fence, it's gonna cost you your freedom. So, man, I'm stressing. Bitter, mad, gotta go back through this correctional system again. Stressing over me and my wife at the time, debating back and forth, going through a divorce. You dig what I'm saying? Well, she talking about she wanted a divorce. And I was in Dodge Correctional Institution. Now mind you, I was in the county. Spent maybe 2-3 months or whatever amount of time they sent me there, and sent me to Dodge Correctional Institution, where they gotta leave you as fresh fish till they have the population open for about, man, it felt like 3 months. Felt like 3 months in the room with 3 other people. I'm not happy. I'm angry. I'm stressing. I'm thinking about going through what I'm going through, about to lose my marriage. Bitter. I ain't gonna lie to you. What I'm telling you is the God truth. Finally, they placed me in the room. Now, I think I had a letter. I think I had received finally a letter from my wife at the time. And it was pretty much on us going through a divorce, separating, this, that, and the third. Now, mind you, I'm already thinking about all this time and how I'm gonna miss out on my son's life. I was at the point where I had my mind made up. I was going to commit suicide. Yeah, I was stressing. I wanted to savage my marriage. I wanted to be home to spend time with my child, to accept the fact that somebody else gonna be raising mine. So I had my mind made up. You know, I had a nice little bunkie, you know, put us in a room, and I'm thinking how I'm gonna do it. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Internally, I'm like, it's gotta be fast, it's gotta be quick. Yeah. So I had my mind made up. What I was gonna do, how I was gonna do it. I said, as soon as my bunkie leave, I'm knocking my noodles out. Saying that like I had a pistol in prison. Nah, I was gonna hang myself. So my bunkie, you know, it was like, you know, rec time. And they like, you know, a lot of my old comrades, you know me from the joint. They're like, Loco, you know, I'm in the room. They're like, hey, Loco, come on out, man. Come on out the rec. I was like, nah, dog, I'm good, man. I'm straight. Come on, man. Man, I ain't seen you minute, man. Shoot the shit with your boy, man. Man, he kept forcing it. He was not gonna leave that door. Man, ought to be out in the fold. He was not trying to leave that door. You hear me?
Damn, Clemson.
You know, old cats, man, you know what I mean? Guys I'm jammed with, you know. Back when we pretty much did time together, we did 7 years. I did 7 years in Green Bay, the Max. And this is one of them cats, you know what I mean? Remember shooting the breeze with me, we was locked up. The Divine moved in, used them, called me out, right? While I'm kicking it, when we talking, we shooting the breeze, we kicking it. Now mind you, in Dodge Correctional Institution, sometimes they only give you 30 minutes and sometimes an hour. Man, may the gods curse me if I lie. Why they end up giving us 2 hours of rec period? 2 hours. Now when the hour was up, you know, I'm on the basketball court, shooting basketball, you know what I mean, playing. I leave out from basketball, I'm like, yo, let me start hitting back. You know, my strategy of moving different, you know what I mean? I don't wait to get in the crowd, I move around different. So I'm leaving to find out they kept us out there an extra hour. Everybody, you know what I mean, puzzled but having fun. I leave from playing basketball and I head out on the track, start walking the track. Man, why it seemed like we was out there in that rec field longer than what it should be. In 2005, may the gods curse if I lie, if there was to look up the records and show when B.DaRon.Ashley was in Dodge Correctional Institution, when we went out that time, man, miraculously, that's a new word. They gave us 2 hours, an hour extra. Somebody was telepathically reading my energy. The ancient ones at the time was reading my energy, knew that I needed to free my mind. I needed to allow myself to vent, allow myself to think. While I'm on the track, I'm meeting a lot of friends, a lot of associates, a lot of guys, you thinking I'm saying I'm jammed with, telling me they story. It allowed me to ponder and rethink and re-strategize. Because houses are haunted, people could be haunted too. Energies can haunt you, but just like the energies was inside of me that was having me feeling some type of way. Yeah, I felt better. I felt revalued within myself. That yeah, you know, even though I may go through a divorce, man, life continues. Allow me to not give up, but put that old exterior on and hump on that bump, make it do what it do. Now I want to share something to you because that was a miracle, man. Telepathically, somebody in administration, the ancient ones reached somebody in administration and gave us an extra hour rec period. Everybody walking around there, man, and jamming like, damn, man, what is it, a holiday or something? 2 hours, man, only give you a half an hour or an hour. New booty, fresh fit, you know, I'm a convict, I'm in the system. But they gave us 2 hours, man. I needed that 2 hours. This is how I know that divine calling is in my life and also in your life. When I wrote that song, I'm probably who. I wrote that song in 2009, 2007, 2009. Now, if you listen to the song's prophetic. If you listen to the song, it's prophetic because it was the energy that was inside of me that was conveying. And I wasn't even, I had did my little research, you dig what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure I ain't the dullest knife in the drawer, but a lot of the things was 10 years in advance that happened. When me breaking down the Mona Lisa and how the encoding of Mona Lisa and what the name Mona Lisa unscrambled to, and the things that I'm talking about in I'm Probably Who is prophetic. Those who listen to the lyrics, those who understand, comprehend, and grasp the intrinsic meaning of things, see just how prophetic that was. I was in jail. I was locked up 2009. How is it that I'm talking about the mystery of Mona Lisa and the codes and stuff involved with it? And there's a lot of things in the song that I couldn't put in the video. I couldn't put in the video. Man, I'm talking about, man, I've been through a lot. You dig what I'm saying? And that's what happened. You know, for me, following the path, following the lifestyle, and emulating my role models allowed me to really tap into myself. Now, this time, yeah, you know what I'm saying? My brother was a pimp. Yeah, I read books that kind of distorted my thinking and wanted to get out there, you know, and do things that I wouldn't recommend. But you know, sometimes you gotta go through the wildlife to understand that you're gonna step on them scorpions. You're gonna get bit by them snakes. You know what I mean? If you don't go through falling, you don't understand the process of what it takes to really stand up. You understand? You gotta go through the storm, depreciate the sun, depreciate nature. You gotta go through all that. And what I went through allowed me to grow, allowed me to develop in who I am. But it was a greater mystery involved in it. Because when I was going through, I was hearing that soft voice in my head. No, don't do it. It's not meant for you. There's so much more meant for you to do. It's not meant for you. I kept hearing that strong voice. But of course, things weren't going my way. A lot of times things don't go our way. We boo-hoo within ourselves. We want to give up. We want to throw the towel up. After experiencing what I experienced, I continue to spiral into a lot more. But instead of giving up, like I did when I was thinking about giving up regarding my wife and losing my child and going to prison, I went through so much and I didn't give up. I didn't give up. Spent the majority of my time in the hole. 2 battles. Ultimately, I had to pay from their hospital bills. You know, took me a long time to pay their hospital bill from doing the stupid. It allowed me to process, analyze, dissect, put everything in its proper perspective. An old cat, an old gangster told me that. Been in the system a long time, and I remember that to this day. He said, analyze, process, dissect, put everything in its proper perspective before you move. A lot of y'all probably going through a lot of hardships. Listen, if I can do it, you can do it too. Listen, while I was in Boscoville, I received the divorce papers in Boscoville. The day before, I had a vision, wrote it in my dream paper. I still got it. All my visions and dreams and miracles that happened is recorded. March 13th, wrote it in red. March 13th, and I can show you. March 13th, it said I received a divorce paper from Marcia. Slid through my door. She signed off on it March 13th. It came to me on the 13th. Everything was dealing with 13 when she sent it out. From the divine. 13 is a blessed number. A lot of people think it was a curse number. Nah, I end up getting popped off on the 13th. She did the divorce on the 13th. Came through the door. You know what I mean? I was broken, busted, then disgusted. I I turned up. You know what I mean? Force papers came through. Harden up. Let off my grief out. Yeah, shed some tears, let all that out. And got up in myself. Instead of allowing myself to be beaten up, I allowed myself to become sharp. I allowed myself to educate myself. Turned up on my exercise and my workout. Took my anger out on handball. Now I'm in Bostonville, Supermax. So the only thing that we could do is either write, eat canteen, or read. I balled up paper, balled it up. Was hitting it up against the wall. Sometimes I even use a milk car, balled it up tight, hit up against the wall, bah, 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 bah. Made my reflex fast. Turned up. While I was in the Supermax, I changed myself from Amir, from even while I was in Supermax, certain clandestine, esoteric type books that I was reading upon, talking about the Seal of Solomon, breaking down the things dealing with certain names. And I came up with the name that resonated with me from the gods through the gods. And I lived up to Amen. I understood what Lucifer was. And when I tapped within myself after doing 30 days, 90 days in Delta unit, it was Alpha unit. Then after I did 90 days in Alpha unit, then they sent me to Delta unit in the Supermax. Look, it just dawned on me. Look, Alpha is 1, Delta is 4. So it done went from that 1 and that 4 again, that 4 and that 1 again. Started up in the Supermax. 1 and 4. Alpha is 1, Delta is 4. Man, it was divine calling, divine timing. Yeah. And that's when I went through what I went through. You know what I mean? From there, spending the rest of my life, the rest of my life, a lot of my time in prison, in the hole, fighting, going through the programming that the ancient ones allowed me to program myself, learn a little bit more of my capabilities and my abilities and tapping within, and allow me to write those spiritual, ancient books that I sent to certain type of, as I told you in my story, certain type of secret society. You know, and allow me to tap within. See, it was meant for me to go through, to write, to educate, to tap within, to grow within, to tap into the cave within me, to awaken the Lazarus within me. The same Lazarus that Lazarus is within you. Yeah, happened in the cave. A lot of us have the cave within us. We just got to awaken that sleeping giant. I'm grateful that it took me to go through hell. 5 years suffering with MRSA on my back. Supposed to got out with 4. But because of the batteries that I caught, I ended up spending 5 years in prison, getting out from the hall into the snow with no shoes. All my personal belongings was stolen when I got into that fight. But I didn't give up. I didn't stop doing the work. I didn't stop being who I was. I didn't stop allowing myself to grow mentally. I didn't give up. I gave up on religion when I got out, and I tapped into something more. So I just want y'all to know, what you're going through is only momentarily. I'm a strong believer what Farrakhan said about the dead seed hitting the dead earth and then giving forth life. I was a seed. I couldn't see the D that was in me, the divine that was in me. But it took for me to go through what I went through. Took it to be secluded. Took it to be pressured. Bust pipes, but this pipe didn't bust. This pipe was about to bust. But allowed me to be saturated. It allowed me to be nourished. It allowed me to tap within. It allowed, as they say, certain people to awaken their third eye. Sometimes you got to go through stressful situations and allow that to open up, to crack the bust. I was already gifted even when I was a younger child. Certain things that I experienced even when I was like maybe 2 years old. When I heard an angelic voice, ask your father if you can have some tater chips and a soda. And I asked him, gave it to me. Going to the Pac-Man machine, it was on Center Street. No, it was the centipede machine. Went to the centipede machine, tapped it, and started playing. I don't forget that. did it again, and it started playing. It's a lot of things that happen that I don't want to give too much of. But I was born with this black seal. I don't know if you can see it. This black seal on my left arm. Don't want to go away. Y'all, a lot of y'all don't know, but I was born with not 10 fingers. I was born with 11 fingers. So I just want to share this with y'all to understand that, man, that was one hell of a miracle. I still think about that to this day. You know, failure is not an option, man. Persist with persistence. I don't believe going down. I go down standing up. After what I've been through, I don't care what happens. You know what I mean? It allowed me to understand suffering and pain is all a part of life. Yeah, pain and suffering is all a part of life. Because even through that pain and that hardship, it actually molds you to be a lot more. You can't see that inside of the word hard is AR. Inside of hard is flip. Right is left, left or right. Inside of hard is Ra. It's the sun burning inside of you, purifying inside of you.